Hi, I'm Dr. Rhoberta Shaler, the relationship help doctor, and I don't know if you heard me say that once before, but I wanted to talk to you today about this whole phenomenon of being with people who make you second guess yourself. They make you ask the question, am I crazy? Did I misremember something? Is this my fault? Now, what I want to tell you about relentlessly difficult and toxic people, those people that I call hijackals, those people want you to second guess yourself. They want you to have that moment when you question, was it my fault? Because you know that they are going to make it your fault no matter what. You know that, right? That if you are with a relentlessly difficult, toxic person, a hijackal, their whole thing is to get you to accept the fault for everything so that you stay in the question, second guessing yourself, doubting yourself, and always thinking that if you do better, they will be better. And in the case of hijackals, they won't. And you really need to get in touch with that. I know you're a good person and you want to think, if only I'm more patient, I'm more kind, I'm more compassionate, I understand what they've been through, then if I just wait long enough and I'm good enough, they'll change. But they won't. They have you just where they want you. They have you second guessing yourself. Now, why is this a good thing? Well, anytime we second guess ourselves, it's a good thing to sit down, and I always say with a cup of herbal tea, and just take a minute and say, what's real here? What is really going on? What am I taking on? And is it appropriate? Because if you sit down and think it through and get clarity, then you will also then feel more confident and you will be able to be assertive. And my definition of assertive that comes from my book, Kaizen for Couples, is that you have the absolute right to draw a breath and take up space and at any time speak only of yourself about how you think, feel, and what you need and want. As long as you're not speaking to anybody else about it, about anybody else in it, then you can be assertive. So as long as you are talking about yourself and only yourself and how you perceive things and how things are from your point of view, you are absolutely within your right to do that. Do you know that? You don't have to please anybody. You don't have to say what somebody else wants. You don't have to do what somebody else wants. You don't have to be who somebody else wants. You don't have to make yourself into a pretzel or lie down like a doormat to accommodate the ability to make somebody else happy. That's not your job. You're here to fully express who you are. So yes, there's a plus to second guessing yourself for a moment to say, okay, do I have clarity around this? Is this actually the truth? Do I really believe this? Do I have evidence in reality that this is true? And if not, maybe I'm making it up. You know, there's a wonderful spiritual book that I love, and I take this phrase from it. There's not everything in it I love, but this phrase I do. And it says, everything has the meaning I give it. Do you see the power and the value in that? If you honestly believe that everything has the meaning that you give it, then you take responsibility for being the author of your life and what you do and how you respond. So when someone causes you to second guess yourself and say, wow, did I really say that? They're telling me I didn't, and I believe I did. Or they're telling me that I didn't say that, or I did say that. No matter which way it goes, and I know what is true for me, let me have a think about that. And in that moment, you'll come to that clarity and the ability to be assertive, and that's a good thing. But if somebody has you on the run, they have you second guessing yourself all the time, that's not a good thing. That means that you've given them your power, that you give them the opportunity to define who you are and to define your reality. And if you don't stop and have that nice cup of herbal tea and have a think about that, they'll keep you on the run for a long time. And they'll make you afraid, and they'll make you small, and they'll degrade you and demean you and belittle you. We don't want that happening. So yes, if you second guess yourself, have a good think, clarify, know what you think. Do I need to set a boundary? Do I need to set this straight? How do I do it? And that's positive. But if somebody has you always second guessing yourself, there's a highly likelihood that that is that person's way of controlling you, having power over you. And if you allow them to do it, you're enabling it. You're letting them get away with it. Don't let other people define you. Just because somebody says you're not a good person doesn't mean you're a bad person. What do you think of you? How do you think about you? What do you want? Is that okay? Are you spending enough time alone thinking these things through? Or are you spending your alone time in pain and agony wondering how to please a hijackal, which you can't do unless you continuously give them power? I'm going to speak to you often now because I want you to know all the little things that happen when you're with a hijackal, a difficult, a relentlessly difficult, a toxic, and an often disturbing person. If you want to hear more, go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/4relationshiphelp. If you want to subscribe to my newsletter, Tips for Relationships, go to 4relationshiphelp and see all that's there for you. I want you to empower yourself, to feel good, and to have the life that you can create by getting absolutely real with who's running your life. Talk soon.